Hello everyone. So I welcome you once again in my lecture, and in today's lecture we are going to talk about Master's theorem. Master's theorem is basically to find out the running time of recurrence relations. So far we have seen that we have another two methods, like back substitution method is there. We have recursive tree method is there, and also we have seen that in order to find the running time of any recursive algorithm, first we need to find the recurrence relation. So first we convert into recurrence relation, then we can apply any of the three methods. Back substitution method is very straightforward, easy to use to find the running time. Then we have also discussed about the recursive tree. It's a very fast approach to get the running time. Then we have Master theorem. It is the most popular format of evaluating the running time. Here we have the standard format, or the recurrence relation is given to us. By using these standard results, we can easily find out what is the running time of our given recurrence relation. Though we have some limitations that we will see, but still it is very much useful and very much used to find the running time of recurrence relation. So master theorem is basically provides an asymptotic analysis for recurrence relation, which is of type that mainly occurs in the analysis of divide and conquer algorithms. It was first proposed by three person, and they are named as J Bentley. Then there is B James is there. Then D Huckins are there. So these persons are initially worked on this master theorem, and they have proposed this theorem. Basically, they proposed this theorem to work on the uh, recursive algorithm that is basically based on the dividing functions. So when we talk of uh, recursive algorithms, or whenever we talk about of the recurrence relation, so we have one function which call itself. So when we talk of recursion, we have a function which call itself, and there is an exit point. And the nature of this recursive function is reducing. It's keep on reducing, so that at some point it will be able to exit. So normally in the case of analysis, we have a large size problem, and then we keep on dividing the size so that the size can be reduced to one. Like when we talk about the divide and conquer, and the divide and conquer approach says that if you have a big problem, you divide the problem into smaller sub problems, and you keep on dividing until your sub problems become to a size which can be easily solved. So like in the merge sort, when you keep dividing your bigger array into smaller size, and you keep on dividing until it becomes of size 1. So basically this is being proposed to apply for recurrence relation, which is of this dividing nature, but we can see that it can be equally applied to subtracting function as well. So when we talk of uh, recursing nature, the function need to decrease or divide. It needs to reduce. So if we start with n, it has to reduce by n by 2, n by 4, or it has to reduce by some constant value, n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3. So we have two different formats of reducing the size of n. So we'll see one by one that how the master theorems is applicable in both the scenarios. So let's start. So here you can see that this is the general format of master theorem. We must have a recurrence relation. A recurrence relation may be in the form of division. So when we talk of the recurrence, it may be of dividing nature or subtracting nature. Means the size of either means reducing through division, or it is also reducing through subtraction. So here you can see, here we have a size n, and we are calling it recursively, where the size of n is reduced by a factor of b. Similarly, here you can see that here also we have one recurrence relation, where we are reducing the size of n by subtracting by b. So here this is a recurrence relation for a dividing function, this is for subtracting function. So this is the core idea for Master's theorem, but we can also represent it for these subtracting function. Now here we are having a function, or you can say the function is represented by this n power k log n power p, and this is fn equals to big O of nk. Now keep in mind that this is only applicable, Master theorem is only applicable to the recurrence relation, provided it must satisfy these conditions, that some constant values actually we have used here. So a must be more than 1, more than equals to 1, b must be more than 1. Definitely when you're dividing by something, it must be more than 1, because if you keep it 1, then it will remain n. So this b must be more than 1. K must be more than equal to 0, and a must be more than equals to 1, and there's p is also one, any real number. So we will see that how it works. So first we take the Master theorem for decreasing recursive function. When I say decreasing recursive function, means our recursion is happening in this format where we are reducing the size of n by some factor b, provided a must be more than equals to 1, b is more than 1. So whenever you start doing Master theorem, and if you have a recurrence relation, so the very first thing is you have to check that the conditions are satisfied or not. If the conditions are not satisfied, in that case the Master theorem is not applicable. So here Fn equals to big O of Nk. Now uh, this must be more than, now we have three cases. So we have case 1, case 2, case 3. So the value of a, this the coefficient which is actually with this term which is recursive, this value defines the cases. So if a is less than 1, that means there is actually no impact of this recursive term. This should be either 1 or more than 1. Then only it makes actually the real recurrence, notation. So when a is less than 1, then this term has actually no consideration, and our answer is simply whatever the function is given. So the function is big O of nk. So our answer is t of n is big O of nk. This is our direct answer. You can find out if a is less than 1. So let us assume this is a separate case where a is less than 1. Now we will take case 1 and case 2. So case 1 says when a equals to 1. So when this value is 1, then simply you have to multiply n into whatever the function is given to you. So here the function is n power k, and we multiply n, so you get big O of nk plus 1. What does it mean? It means if we have a function of this kind, for example, t of n is equals to t of n minus 1 plus 1. So here a is actually 1, b is also 1. So again I can write some more functions and we'll see how it works. Let's say t of n minus 1 plus n, t of n equals to t of n minus 1 plus let's say the function is big O of n log n. So if this is a scenario where you can see that these are all decreasing recursive function and the value of a is 1. So in this case, what will be the answer? You just look to the function and multiply by n. So the function is the constant here. So multiply by n, you will get big O of n will be the answer. When you have this scenario again, the value of a equals to 1 and this is the function. So simply multiply by this, so you can get big O of n square. Similarly, you can get here big O of n square log n. If it is tn is equals to tn minus 1 plus big O of log n, then it becomes big O of n into log n. So these are the standard results when we have a equals to 1 and function is defined like this. Now in case 2 when a is not equals to 1 but it is more than 1, in that case your answer will be the function. You will take this function whichever is given to you, and that coefficient raised to the power this n by b. So what does it mean? It means, let us take some example. If we have t of n is equals to 2t n minus b, so here you can see that a is more than 1 plus 1. This is one, let's say, recurrence relation given to us. Or the second is 3t n minus 1 plus n, you can say n. So what we will get in this case, so you can see we will get big O, and this is constant. So what you will get, this will be like this is not in constant, you will get 2 raised to the power n by b. And what is b? B is actually 1. So 2 raised to the power n will be the answer. Big O of 2 raised to the power n. Similarly, if you look here, you can see the function is n. So you can say big O of n into 3 raised to the power n. This is how we can find out the direct answer. There is no need to just solve this equation. You just apply the Master's theorem, you just apply these standard results, and we get the answer directly. Okay, so now moving to the next kind of recurrence relation that is actually suggested by the Master's theorem. So this is the main format or the main form of Master theorem, which has been proposed initially by the 3-person, and basically it is applicable for the divide and conquer problem, where we are reducing the size of n by dividing it by some constant. So here t of n equals to a t n by b, where a and b are some constant whose value must be more than equals to 1. If a is must be more than equals to 1, b must be more than 1, k must be more than equal to 0, and p is any real number. So this is a function. So we have 3 cases. Now here what we are doing, we are comparing log a base b and k. So on the basis of these 2 comparisons, we will have 3 cases: case 1, case 2, case 3. In all, we have actually 6 cases: 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can say we have 6 scenarios. These 6 scenarios we have divided into 3 cases based on the value of log a, base b, and k. Now the first is we are comparing. So if log of a base b is more than k, or you can say that a is more than b power k. So this is, we are comparing this. So if this is more, if this power is more, then we will simply get the answer by raising this to the power of n. So our answer is, if this is more than this, we say that our answer is theta n power log a base b. Okay, if this is more, if k is more than log a base b, then our answer is theta n power k. Okay, so here you can see this is the third case where a is less than b power k. So here we can say our answer is in terms of n power k, but here this is more, so we say our answer is n power log a base b. But when both are same, when a equals to b power k, like this is example. So when I say log a base b is equals to k, that means actually a is equals to b power k. So here you can say, you can either write the answer in terms of log a base b, means n raised to the power log a base b, or you can also write n power k, means I can also write this notation as theta n power k log n p plus 1. Okay, now let us understand how this answer will be used to get our final running time. Okay, so when a is more than b power k, that means if log a base b more than k, then our answer is theta n into n raised to the power log a base b. This is the simple answer, and there we have only one cases. But if the scenario is a is equals to b power k, or you can say log a base b is equals to k, in that case you have to check the value of p. So here you can see, here we have p. This p will defines the 3 scenarios. If p is more than -1, then what you are going to do is you will take this function and multiply by just multiply 1 log into it. So you will get log p plus 1n. Again I repeat, if p is more than -1, if p is more than -1, actually this refers to the positive values. So 0 to and all positive values, you have to simply take the function and just multiply 1 log n into this. If p equals to -1, if p equals to -1, you have to take this function and you have to just multiply log. So this will be, now this, what I am telling is, I am just telling you to giving you some hint or some kind of tricks that how you can learn this, how you can memorize. When you see any question, you can easily apply these kind of tricks and you can just get the answer. So if it is p -1, simply whatever is given to you, you simply just write log of this second term, which is in the log format. If p is less than -1, then just ignore this term and your answer is n power k, that is n power log ab. But now here log a base b is actually k, because we are in the case second, and case second means both terms are equal. So this is actually nothing but this is actually theta n power k. In the third scenario, when a is less than b power k, we have already discussed that in that case this term will be dominating. This term will be dominating. So we have the answers n power k, n power k. But if it is less than 0, you just ignore this term. If it is less than 0, you ignore this term. If it is more than equal to 0, you will simply take whatever the function is given to you will be your answer. So this is how you can memorize all these results. Now we will take some example and we'll see that how we can use these standard result to get the running time. Okay, so this is our standard master theorem I have written here, so that we can consult this theorem to get the answer. So let me write some question first. Let's say our first question is, we are interested to find out. Let's say first question is, it is given to us t of n equals to 2t n by 2 plus 1. Now this is given to us, and we need to find the running time of this equation. We want to use master theorem. So the very first thing is you need to check that master theorem is applicable or not. Now how you can check? You have to check these conditions. That, so here what is a is equals to 2, that means a is actually more than equal to 0, that is more than equals to 1, that means this condition satisfied. B is 2, and what is k is n power something. We don't have any term of n, we don't have any term of log, so we can say p is 0 here and k is 0 here in this equation, and actually all conditions are satisfied, so we can apply Master's theorem. We need to find out log a base b, and also we have to take the k value. So you have to compare these two values, or you can compare in this format, a and b power k. So what is a? A is 2, and b power k is what? This is 2 power 0. So that means a is more than this term. We are in case 1. This is case 1. A is more than bk, and our answer is what? Our answer is theta n power log a base b. And what is log a base b? So you can see that log a base b here is what? Log a base b. Log a is 2, base b, this is what? 1. So what is your answer? The answer is theta n power 1, that is theta n. Okay, so this is for this recurrence, our case is 1. Okay, now let's take another example. Let's say second example is something like this: t of n is equals to 8t n by 2 plus n square. So the very first thing is you need to check that Master's theorem is applicable or not. So here you can say a is equals to what? Here we have a equals to 8, we have b equals to 2, we have k equals to 2, and we have p equals to 0. Okay, so all conditions are satisfied. We can apply Master's theorem. Then you will have to find out which case is applicable. So you just look for a and b power k values. So what is a? A is 8 and b power k is 2 square. So again you can see that this is a case of case 1, that is A is more than B power K. So our answer is what? Our answer is theta n power log A base B, that is theta n log, what is B? 2. This is theta n cube. So this is our answer. So you can directly apply the master theorem and get the answer. Okay, let us move to the next question. Let's say our third question is something like this. Mm, T of n is equals to 8 Tn by 2 plus, let's say this is n log n. So again we will find the value of a, b, k and p. So a is 8, b is 2 here, k is 1. K means the power of n, and p is what? P is here, you know, the power with the log. So here p is 1. If the log term is not present, that means the p is 0. So we have a log term with, this is actually power 1, so p is equals to 1 here. So all the constant conditions are satisfied. That means we can apply the master theorem. So again we start with comparing the two values a and b power k, or this is one way of doing, or you can compare these two things, log a base b and k. Okay, so we can do in both way, whichever is comfortable to you. Actually both have the same meaning. Whichever is comfortable to you, you can use that. So here a is what? 8, b is 2 power. So here you can see again this is case 1, and also you can write here log a is 8 and k is 1. So again this is 3. 3 is actually more than 1. So we have case 1 again, and the answer of this is theta n power this 3. So again we get this answer. And let's move to the next question. Let us take make a question which belongs to some different case. So let us make another question. Let me make the question which actually belongs to some other case. So T of n is equals to 4t n by 2 plus n square log n. So here you can find uh, log a base b and k. So what is log a base b? Log a base b is what? A is 4, b is 2, which is 2, and k is 2. So actually this is the case of log a base b equals to k, then this is case 2. So now case 2 is, we are in the case 2. So here you can see this is case 2. Now in the case 2 we have three scenarios. We have to take the result based on the value of p. So here what is p? So p is 1 here. That means we are in a, 2a. So in the 2a, what is the answer? The answer is you have to multiply p into this expression. Whatever the log term we are having, just multiply one log n term here. So we will get theta of n log a base b. So actually either you can say n to the power k, or you can say n to the power log a base b. Both are the same thing because both are equal. So directly I am right here. I am writing directly here. So I can write here theta of n square because k is 2, and then this is our answer, log, what is p? P is 1, so we'll p plus 1 is 2n. This is the answer. Okay, we'll take one more example to understand in a better way. Let us take one more example. I will just clean this example number 1. I'll take an recurrence relation which is actually of different, that belongs to different case. So let's say my question is t of n is equals to 2t n by 2 plus n by log n. So here you can write this as a 2t n by 2 plus n log n minus 1. This you can also write. So here you can find what is the value of a, b. So a is 2, b is 2, k is 1, which is the power of n, and p is minus 1. So what you will get, we will find uh, a and b power k, we will compare. So what is a and what is b power k? That's 2 power 1. This is both are equal. So that means we are again in case 2. But what is the value of p? P is equal to minus 1. That means we are in 2b. So we have to take this answer. So our answer is theta n log a base b, which is actually k. So the what is k here? K is 1. So theta n into log n, log n. This is your answer. Okay, so that's all. I think with the help of this numerical, you are able to understand that how we can use the master theorem to directly find out the running time. So that's all for this lecture. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye for now.